Welcome to Azzadous Studios. I've had a big renovation, changed the studio completely. I've got bass traps in, new desk, acoustic panels. I've still got corner traps to go in and a bit more work on the backside, which you can't see. A couple of panels that need to go up, some more acoustic tiles. I'll run through all that in another video, maybe like a little studio tour. The desk was made by a good friend of mine, Josh, who's on YouTube, so I'll leave a link to his channel in the description if you're interested in checking out the time-lapse videos. Today we're going to take a look at making a mono bass wider and just filling out the stereo field a little bit more. If you like the video, like and share, and remember to subscribe and ring the bell to keep up to date with future videos. Okay, so I've got a track here that I'm working on. It's kind of, well, it started out as like a hard NRG remix. It's for a remix competition that I'm doing. I'll play a little bit of it. Okay, so just a little clip there. So what I want to focus on is the bass, obviously, because we're widening a mono bass. At the moment, this bass is... We've got 3 layers. I've grouped this up as the top, which is that there, and then I've got the sub underneath, which is just a nice 808 sub sample. The top consists of quite a gritty sound, and then I've also got quite a nice plucky sound to layer the top on. Also kind of gritty, but together sounds quite nice. So what I want to do is separate this top first layer here, widen it up a little bit. When the track's playing, you can kind of hear that there's quite a lot of stereo information. Most of that's coming from these synths that I've got laid over the top. So if I switch those off and just play it without that. The bass is very down the centre and I want to separate that a little bit. So the first trick that you can do, and this is depending on what VST you're using. I'm using Serum for this. It's a pretty simple preset. I didn't do much with it, just a bit of an FM bass. Kind of went for that donk feel, but rolled back a lot on it, so it's not too much of a donk. First thing I'm going to try is changing the unison on oscillator B. So let's just bring that up to 2. And I'm just going to add a stereo tool. So let's put the analysis stereo tools on there. So I can see in this particular case, it does work sometimes, sometimes it don't. So it's worth trying. This isn't really making it stereo. It's not really doing much to it. I could try making oscillator A in unison as well. And there we get much more of an effect. It's quite nice. It's not ruining the sound too much either. So what we can do is try that out, and I'll use stereo tools just to push that a little bit more in a second. So let's check that bass out with and without the unison. Okay, so it's adding a nice bit of width to it. So what I can then do with a stereo tool of your choice, I like to use this Sonalxis one because it's got a nice, easy width slider with a 0 width below knob, so you can just turn that up and adjust the width below a certain hertz. I'll just put it about there for now. I'll just solo that channel. Okay, so for this particular bass, I think I'm going to roll that back a little bit, about 600 Hertz. And I don't want to add too much width. Let's try that. Okay, so what you can also do, I'm just going to delete that. If you've not got that, or you don't have a stereo tool, if you use Ableton, what you can do is bring in a utility and do pretty much the same thing. You've got a width knob here, and then bass mono. So you can choose bass mono and choose whereabouts you want to be mono. This only goes up to 500 Hertz, so it's not as intricate as the third-party plugins. But what we can do is pretty much the same thing. Keep the bass mono and then bring up the width. So as I say, it's not as there's not as much control as with the third-party plugin. There is a free plugin that I will show you called Stereo Tool V3. I'll drop a link in the description for this. And this will do the same thing. You've got the width there. So what we can do is just push it up too much. It does ruin the sound a little bit. The only downside with this free plugin is that it doesn't have a zero width below knob. Okay, so another way you can create more stereo width is with some effects. So what I like to do is add the hyper/dimension, and I think by stock that mix on the hyper is halfway up. So I want to bring that all the way down. I don't want to use the hyper. I just want to use the dimension. So solo that again. So I'm going to bring the size up, like, let's try about 9%, and I'm just going to bring the width, the mix up. Okay, so I'm at about 21% there. It's going to vary with your bass, so just play about with it. It's adding some additional width. You could switch that unison off, because a lot of cases, if you put in unison on the actual oscillators, it might ruin the sound. Luckily enough on this sound, it's not ruining it. So I might go ahead with that, but sometimes you are going to want to keep it on 1, especially for a bass sound. So I'm going to put it on 1 and just try that. So that dimension makes a massive difference. I kind of like it with the unison on as well, so I'm going to keep that. So let's bring in the stereo tool again. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the bass on the end channel, I've actually got another widening, another stereo tool on this group, which I forgot about. Just making it even wider. Okay, so you can hear that effect there. Again, I've got the zero width below 955, so it's keeping all the frequencies below 955 Hz straight down the center in mono. What I'm going to do is just add an imager, an Ozone 8 imager. I'm only using this just for viewing purposes because I like the way it looks and I'm used to it. I'm not actually going to use this, I'm going to delete it after. I just want to check the phase. So we're even still with, we've got all that stereo width and the width from the unison and the dimension. On the bass channel, we're still about +1. We've got a nice sounding bit of width. Might be clipping a little bit, I'll sort that out in a sec. It's not extreme width, but it's adding nicely to it. It really does enhance the sound. And if I stick those synths back on, so thanks for watching. I hope it's been a helpful video. If you liked it, like and share, and remember to subscribe and ring the bell to keep up to date with future videos. See you next time.
Another jam from the miracle maker, wizard of the word, MC